Salute to the people. I got some Demetrius Boo Boo Andrade news for you guys. So please listen to your boy. Sit back, relax, and enjoy. Check it out. Demetrius Andrade, his contract with Matchroom expires after Zach Parker fight on May 21st. Why is this big news? Let's just start off with the fact that it's big news because Demetrius Andrade is very strategic. I should say his team as well. Remember, I criticized Andrade's team. I criticize him a lot. I criticize him to the point where I got a lot of y'all Black Goose family thinking Andrade isn't one of my favorite fighters when he is. It's just I'm so critical because I'm so upset that Andrade has to be at the point he is right now in his career where there's a possibility he may get the Canelo fight or he may not. You know what I'm saying? And I hate that because basically if Andrade doesn't get that fight, there's really no big name fights out there that he can possibly get other than maybe Benavidez. But Benavidez saying, if I don't get any of these fights, I'm going to lay heavyweight. I don't see Jamal Charlo accepting that fight unless, he feels like there's no possible way for him to get any of the, big names in Canelo, Benavidez, maybe Plant, whatever the case may be. But that's basically the reason why I'm so hard on, the business side of Boo Boo Andrade's team, because I'm like, he should not be in this position. Now, obviously that's coming from emotion as well. So, hearing this, reading this particular article, Andrade's contract being up, I'm like, this is big news. All right. And this is confirmed by Eddie Hearn as well. Eddie Hearn said, yes, his contract is up after Zach Parker. Eddie Hearn even said himself, I do not expect Andrade to re-sign with us. And he specifically said, hey, it's not my fault. It's not the team's fault. It's not Andrade's fault. All right. We tried to get him the big fight and we just couldn't do it. Everyone would decline. Everyone who had something to lose would decline a fight with Andrade. And he said it just is hard. He's a slick southpaw. He's unorthodox. He's unconventional. He's unpredictable. It's really hard to get this guy fights against the top level opponents who feel like they have something to lose because they feel like he's a higher risk than reward. So Eddie Hearn simply said, hey, it's not my fault. It's not his fault. It's just you got to chalk it up to the game, basically. All right. Now, whoever's fault you want to place your blame on, have fun with it. Go ahead. But let's talk about this. Andrade is going to be a free agent after Zach Parker. So let's say this, and this is why I say finally a good strategic move, business move from Andrade. I already applauded him for finally moving up to super middleweight, right? Because I've been said when it comes to Boo Boo, you have to stop acting like you're the prize fighter. You got to stop acting like you're the cash cow and telling people to agree to your terms. No, you have to go with their terms. But now it may make sense because if Andrade got to a certain point with Matchroom Eddie Hearn, he said, hey, I'm not going to get any of the big fights. What he did was make as most money as he could with Eddie Hearn. So basically he stayed a belt holder at 160, made sure every fight he had was with the belt because he's going to get paid more that way, regardless of who he fights. And then knowing that his last fight on the contract was coming up, he made a very smart move. Listen to me, guys. He moved up to 168 because before I was like, finally, you're putting your hat in the Canelo sweepstakes. You got to stop calling out Canelo at 160. He's not going to come down to you. You got to move up, put yourself in the sweepstakes. And I was like, why haven't you done it earlier? But now I see why Boo Boo didn't. Because apparently, this is allegedly my opinion. This is me putting together a theoretical a possibility. He didn't believe Eddie Hearn would get the Canelo fight for him. He probably didn't believe he would get him the Triple G fight either, which, by the way, he didn't. But he probably didn't believe he would get the Canelo fight if he would have moved up earlier at super middleweight. So he probably would have felt like he would have wasted his time at super middleweight. So what he did strategically, him and his team, let's wait until we got one more fight left on our contract. Then we'll move up to 168. Fight a guy, Zach Parker. If we beat Zach Parker, now we have the WBO interim belt. Now we're a free agent. We're in position that we have to fight a mandatory. Excuse me. I mean, we have to fight one more time. We either have to fight the number one rate guy at WBO, or we have to fight our own mandatory. And what ends up happening is if we fight one more fight, doesn't matter who it is. If we win it, we become Canelo's mandatory. So doing that right before your contract cuts, basically saying, if I beat Zach Parker, I have power where I just need one more fight to be Canelo's mandatory, and I'm a free agent. Yes, I know Boo Boo is 33, but if he shows out against Zach Parker and shows he's a young-ass 33, which I expect him to look like because he's basically taking no damage, we're talking about a whole new world for Andrade. We're talking about maybe a Benavidez fight, maybe him versus Caleb Plant, maybe him versus Jamal Charlo, maybe him versus Jaime Mwanga. We have all these different options for Andrade if he beats Zach Parker and he's a free agent on the market. So I'm like, beautiful business move. And all the criticism I had against Boo Boo, look, I'll take it back. I'll take back about 50%. But at the end of the day, him and his team did what was best for the situation he was in. They signed the deal with Matchroom and Eddie Hearn. They thought Eddie Hearn would be able to bring, some of the bigger fights and get him put on the map. He wasn't able to do that, but he did pay him very, very good money. So now the next move is, hey, it's our goal because this is the new thing in boxing. It's not, well, it isn't necessarily new, but it's happening more than it was beforehand. Let's take power into our own hands when we become a free agent, so we can set ourselves up possibly for the fight that we want, or at least we're in a position to get some of the other fights that people never expected us to be able to get, which is smart. So, excuse me, I want to go ahead and present that to you guys, let you guys know what's going on, man. I just want to salute Demetrius Boo Boo for this move and his team. I wish nothing but the best. I'm just saying, if Boo Boo beats Zach Parker on May 21st, he's gonna have the whole world open to him. And if he does it impressively, let's say he beats Zach Parker on a 12-round decision, it was kind of boring. He might think about re-signing with Matchroom. You feel me? Because re-signing with Matchroom, Eddie Hearn, he's the closest with Canelo. That might help him out a lot. But if he goes in and he dominates Zach Parker, puts on a real show, we might be a bright 2023 for Boo Boo. We'll see, though. All right. Let me know what you guys think about this particular comment. Please drop your opinions down below in the comment section. Hit that like button. Show some love. I'm out of here. Subscribe to